Reki, one in Nabu, our name is Binodlal Phantom, Radio Fiji 2, हम लोग बहुत लाइक करता हुआ ये सुनता है।
Radio Fiji 2, देश की धड़कन।
In this bulletin, Bamba speaks out about interview process. Fikek set to charge 7 MPs. And Rambuka under the spotlight again.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Koroi Tadua.
The chair of the independent interview panel for the SODELPA leadership says they did not have enough time to properly vet the candidates. Dr. Tupeni Bamba has defended the panel and his involvement, saying they came on board to lend their expertise and not to push someone's agenda.
Dr. Mbamba has spoken for the first time about time constraints, saying he has written to SODELPA President Ratu Epenisa Thakumbau, explaining that they were put in a tough position from the outset.
We are not in a situation in a short discussion, right, to be able to capture all aspects of it. I wanted to make it very clear to them as a professional that in as far as we observe it in our discussion, that was the impression we put on it. But being a professional, I said, there are many aspects of this, and we can go and spend a day or two collecting all sorts of data, but we haven't got that time. This has got a short time frame. Our interview was 1 hour.
Since his appointment, the former politician and current academic was constantly attacked by SODELPA MPs and party executives. Even with the interview process complete and SODELPA leaders appointed, the integrity and independence of Dr. Mbamba and the panel continue to be called into question.
I think twice about participating in this kind of assessment, although I want to go and help the party that I formed, and I'm familiar with it. I believe in having parties to grow democracy.
Dr. Mbamba says in his letter, he's tried to give guidance and advice to Ratu Epenisa on what qualities a leader must display and the discipline he or she must bring to the party.
At least 7 members of parliament who allegedly claimed travel and accommodation allowances they were not entitled to are expected to be charged by the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption this week. These MPs have been interviewed by Fikek and are from the opposition and one from the government side. It is alleged that these MPs breached the Parliamentary Remuneration Act 2014.
The matter came to light in May this year when Parliament Secretary General Vinyana Namosi Malua took the matter up to Fikek in relation to allegations of possible breaches of travel and accommodation allowances involving certain members of Parliament. 9 MPs, including Fiji First Government MP Vijendra Prakash, opposition MPs Salote Randronro, Pedeli Vosanimbola, Ratu Nengama Lalambalavu, Andi Litiang Yonimbaravi, Moses Mbulitavu, Ratu Suliano Motinitambua, Nico Navaikula and Aseri Randronro were questioned at the Fikek office between May and August this year. FBC News understands that Aseri Randronro is not amongst those who are likely to be charged. Fikek had earlier confirmed receiving the complaint from the Parliament Secretary General. Fikek officers conducted a search at the SODELPA headquarters in July to obtain information and documentation relating to party membership and registration relating to residential addresses of the MPs in question. FBC News understands that some MPs were interviewed yesterday and others are expected to be questioned soon. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Just when you thought the SODELPA split couldn't attract more controversy, there's more looming problems for the trouble-riddled party with fresh accusations of a different kind against Sitiveni Rambuka. After being rejected by his party on the weekend, Rambuka is now facing a looming problem that could further widen the gap between the two very obvious party factions.
The media industry is buzzing this afternoon as unofficial reports of harassment by recently ousted party leader Sitiveni Rambuka is being verified by the party president. SODELPA President Ratu Epenisa Thakumbau says he is checking party records to ascertain whether reports of Rambuka harassing a party worker is true or not.
Maybe it's there in the headquarters, I don't know. I'll have to have a look at it. There's a few things there which I need to have to look at, and maybe, I honestly don't know. I'm not really sure.
Rambuka admits that a female party member filed a complaint against him after a recent meeting.
I'm only aware of the complaint brought up had a grievance in the management board meeting about my tone at the meeting.
SODELPA has been mired in controversy for many months now, with a major power struggle plaguing the country's biggest opposition party as it spills into two factions, with new disputes and backstabbing now almost a daily occurrence. Apeniso Wanggerdobu, FBC News.
Studies have shown that stigma and discrimination against people with HIV, sex workers and LGBTQI+ communities is still a pressing issue in the country. Speaker of Parliament Ratu Epeli Nailatikau says 60% of female sex workers surveyed in Fiji reported avoiding HIV testing due to fear of stigma from, above all, healthcare providers. The survey reveals that 30% of homosexuals ignore undertaking a HIV test due to the fear of victimization. He says responsibilities need to be shared to reduce the impact of HIV, with COVID-19 already causing havoc.
There must be global solidarity and shared responsibility to ensure that no individual, community, or country is left behind in accessing life-saving health commodities.
Health Minister Dr. Ifiremi Wanganambete says discrimination is something that knows no end. Dr. Wanganambete has assured that the ministry will ensure staff all over Fiji are not involved in any form of discrimination to anyone seeking support. The Fiji Pine Trust has noted an increase in demand for pine timber following Tropical Cyclone Harold earlier this year. Manager Sarusa Turanga says this is due to the increasing demand for timber supply to assist in the rehabilitation work in places that felt the impact of the disaster. He adds that these has also strengthened their operations by responding to the government rehabilitation program in boosting wood production in maritime islands.
And right now we have assisted government on Kantavu, and we have assisted in particular our resource owners on Ono Island in Kantavu, who are now venturing into business ventured approaches for the improvement of livelihood and economic empowerment on the island.
Up ahead, Suva thankful for break. And Wairiki 7 kicks off in style.
Bula FM number 2 and seri.
Veensburg Suva football president Ritesh Pratap believes the players are yet to unleash their full potential in the Vodafone Fiji fact. The wet, muddy ground condition has been one of the main factors affecting the Whites' performance since pool play. With hopes the weather will be favorable this weekend in the north, Pratap believes the players will perform to another level come the semis.
Well, I think if you look at the pool play, I think in the pool play we have a players could not show the real potential, what potential they have because of the ground condition. But hopefully the ground condition is okay on Saturday, so the players can show their real capability and the fans can enjoy a good level of soccer.
The Savu football side is already planning for the new season. After winning the President's Cup in the north over the weekend, the side, laced with some secondary school students, is on the right path according to one of Fiji's best. Former national and Suva midfielder Tony Kamakoro has been with Savu for the last few years, and his goal has not changed since day one.
Yeah, what I'm doing is mixing the youth with the senior players. I got some, you would have noticed, I got some senior players, Matthew, Levi, and I got a lot of under-19 coming in. So these guys might play half a season next season, but I'm trying to build for the next 2 or 3 years, as long as, depends on how long I'll stay with Savu soccer.
The Bar Futsal team has come a long way to qualify for its first Vodafone Futsal Inter-District Championship. The man in black has had to make many sacrifices coming through the elimination rounds from the Western Division to come out on top. Now Bar is aiming to secure the sport in the IDC in years to come. Bar Futsal head coach Dipesh Prasad says they have put in the hard work and it will all be determined today as they prepare to take on Tailevu Naitasiri.
So from that time the team has been building up, doing trainings and all. We were training for our for our Western playoff matches, a game at a time. And from there onwards, once we knew that we had qualified for the IDC, then we're preparing our team daily.
Organizers of the Fiji Beta Wairiki Sevens has forced to start the tournament a day early due to the increased number of teams participating. The tournament, which was officially opened yesterday, was initially scheduled to kick off today. This is the biggest number of teams to ever play in the tournament, and it has prompted organizers to make some changes to the schedule.
18 teams from VT level and about 6 from VT level, from Vono level, sorry. And the rest from Taivini. There's more from outside of Taivini this year than all the previous years because of the demand of teams wanting to participate in the tournament. We've decided to start a day early so we can cover all the pool games that we've needed to complete.
Cloudy with some showers and isolated thunderstorms over Vanuatu, Taveuni and nearby smaller islands. Cloudy periods with some showers and isolated afternoon or evening thunderstorms over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from afternoon or evening showers and isolated thunderstorms, moderate easterly winds, fresh at times, moderate to rough seas. And that is your FBC Morning News. Do join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. And remember, in times of crisis, you need factual news that you can trust. Stop believing fake news about the COVID-19 on social media. Fight misinformation by getting only the facts about coronavirus from verified news sources like FBC's TV, radio and digital media news at fbcnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
Hi, my name is Prashant. I live in Suva. I love Mirchi FM because Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.